All right, so there's this meme photo going around that different sites are posting talking about this 4th and 1 play on the Browns game against the Jets. And the photo suggests that there were 4 open guys on the play and Dillon just missed them all. And before I get into this, it really has nothing to do. I'm not trying to prove a point that Dillon is the future franchise quarterback for the Browns. We haven't seen enough or anything to tell us that's the case. So this isn't about that. I just want to kind of debunk a little bit of what's going around about this play. Because a lot of people are just taking the meme as, fact, and they're really not looking at the play, in slow motion or seeing what transpired, before Dillon was sacked on the 4th and 1. So, and I keep noticing more and more things as I watch the video. So this is my first time really breaking down. I don't know like actual plays or routes or anything like that. So we're not really going to discuss that. But I just want to kind of go over a few things. So as far as the play itself, I know that they've already discussed, I think Dillon kind of said it today. That's what I heard, from the grapevine. I don't pay attention to all that stuff. But I guess from what he's saying is he looked the wrong way. He should have went to the right instead of the left. And after watching this, I definitely see how that's probably what had actually happened. But, the still is a little bit deceiving. And that's where we're just going to kind of show some context to what had happened before and after that would make it look like, he missed 4 open guys when that really wasn't the case. So on the snap here, let's first pay attention to the top of the screen where you have Jeudy and Njoku. Jeudy, you see, is on the left of Dillon in the backfield, and Njoku is at the top left. So as you watch the play happen here, Dillon gets the snap. Now, if you watch, both Jeudy and Njoku have not turned around to look for the ball. It isn't until this point, right here, when Njoku, over to far top right, that's the first time he turns his head to look for the ball. Jeudy still has not turned his head. In fact, we go slightly past that. It isn't until now that Jeudy even turns his head. And by that time, Dillon is already getting one-armed there and about to be taken down for the sack. Now, maybe Dillon could have tossed the ball out to Njoku, and maybe by the time it, he could have not floated it, but put it to the upper left, to the left side of Njoku. But if you look at the top here, I can't quite see his number, 22 maybe or something, but the guy that's basically going to be blocking Njoku, I know we kind of lose him in the screen here, but if you look, he would probably more than likely see Njoku coming free, and he would probably, I would assume, come back towards Njoku, which would probably, Dillon kind of maybe saw that and didn't think that he should throw it to him, and then obviously Jeudy had never even turned his head to even look for the ball until it was already too late. Now, if you look down to the bottom of your screen, you're going to see Judkins, Tillman, and Fannin all right there waiting for the snap. Now here comes the ball. Ball comes out. Now if you look, Fannin, we just kind of lose him. We really can't see him anymore in the picture. But as you can see, he has one guy on him, number 27 and 29. almost looks like they're going to stay with Fannin. But if you watch, I can't tell what his number is, but 90 something on the Jets, right next to Fannin, he sees Tillman with no one around him. So he breaks for that. Now, he probably has a decision to make. He can either go after Tillman or Judkins, but that would give Dillon 2 receivers right there. So at this point, right now, Dillon definitely has 2 receivers open and looking towards Dillon and Tillman and Judkins. However, the error that we go to now on Dillon is if we focus on him now. Now remember what I talked about Judkins and Fannin and Tillman down here at the bottom. You see that both Tillman and Judkins are open. Now watch Dillon on this snap now. The mistake here, the true mistake of why this wasn't picked up for a first down, was the fact that when the ball is snapped, watch Dillon. Dillon never, ever even goes to the right. He never looks. His head, nothing in this clip. Even when the ball snapped, it doesn't even look like Dillon even looked to the left. So that's actually the true mistake that Dillon made at this point. At this junction, he should have realized that both Jeudy and Njoku were not even looking towards him for the ball. And I'm guessing just by the way he focused on that left side that one of those two, either Njoku or Jeudy, were the intended targets on this play. That's what it looks like. It's also a possibility that the actual play was intended for either Tillman or Judkins, and Dillon just either got confused, which I know here comes this supercomputer talk, whatever. We're not talking about that. Maybe Dillon got the play mixed up. Whatever the case may be, he focused way too much on that side, and if he had just maybe once he saw that both Njoku and Jeudy had not turned, he should have checked down and then looked to his right, and maybe he would be able to turn quick enough to, get the ball out to, at worst case, Judkins, and hope that number 90, they're on the Jets. Hopefully he bites and goes with Tillman and leaves Judkins open for at least getting the first down. So in my eyes, that was the biggest mistake. The first mistake that Dillon made was not. Well, really, it's the only one, because we'll get to that now. But now we've kind of talked about the receivers and all. Let's talk about the line now, and most importantly, the left tackle. I believe it's number 68. If you watch the play, and we're going to talk about that now. If you watch the play, here's the snap. Watch the left tackle, number 68. Look how far he comes back. He lets the defender, and maybe this is an actual, I'm never a lineman or anything. I don't know how that works. So maybe it was on purpose that he jumped back that far, but that just does not look right to me. It almost looks like they're trying to have 68 block 2 people. But if you watch, the left tackle for the Browns just gets annihilated on this play. Watch how far back he gets pushed. He gets pushed almost right into Dillon Gabriel. So that doesn't help matters, because if you watch Dillon, he's, by the time that Dillon sets to throw the ball, number 68, the left tackle, is almost pushed right into him, which, was the first thing that probably disrupted. Well, actually, it's not. if you watch number 21, who is he's standing over Njoku there, he blitzes on the snap. So he leaves Njoku. Jeudy, I don't know if Jeudy was supposed to block him. I don't know if he even can. I don't know how all the rules work and everything. But number 21 blows by Jeudy, and he's coming around, and it looks like Dylan notices number 21. And he can basically see them both, but he also, not only does he see his left tackle getting pushed in him, but he sees 21 almost right there. Now, the left tackle kind of, and I don't think it's really like a skill thing. I don't think he purposely went backwards to stop 21. I think he was just getting dominated off the block so much that he just kind of, the Jets player kind of pushed, the left tackle, not planning to block his own guy from getting the sack. So as you're watching all that unfold, you're watching the left tackle get blocked almost into Dylan and number 21 on the blitz, getting, his own guy pushing the left tackle into his sack. But so we've talked about the receivers, we've talked about the line and the offensive tackle. Now we're going to focus back on Dillon Gabriel again on this play. So watch his head and his body language. So on the snap, he goes back. Again, he doesn't do any kind of check down on this play. He just keeps looking to the left. Right about here, he has to take his eyes off the receivers because he now sees his own lineman getting pushed into him, and he sees 21 barreling down on him. Now, when we get to this part right here, Dylan sets. He should be letting go of the ball right now. He can't because neither receiver is in the right position yet. If he lets it go and Jeudy never turns around like he doesn't, it goes off his head or the defender intercepts it. If he throws it to Njoku doesn't turn his head until now. Maybe the ball's there. Maybe you can say that he could have thrown it to Njoku, but again, we have the defender over here in the back right. He very well could be on top of Njoku. By the time he throws the ball and something crazy could have happened, yes, Njoku still would have caught the ball. Who knows? We don't know. But what I can tell you is Dylan goes back, he sets, he should be letting go of the ball, reaching back now, but he notices number 21 coming over there and his left tackle being blocked into him. Dylan has been getting hit all game, just destroyed by his own line, just getting hit, taking unnecessary hits, getting sacked, blah, blah, blah. Dude's seeing ghosts by now. But in this case, it's not a ghost, it's his own left tackle and number 21 barreling down on top of him. So instead of throwing the ball, he's going to get hit by somebody, by his own lineman or somebody. So at this point, Dylan starts looking for a way out. He right there, if you watch, his head turns right there. Now at this point, passing is way out of the question. So it looks like Dylan is trying to find an out to run, which he starts to do that, but the defender who was destroying the left tackle gets one arm on Dylan, which slows him down enough for him to get off of the left tackle block, and number 9 finishes the sack along with some help on the play to end the drive, turnover on downs, and eventually the Browns obviously lost. But to sit here and to say, and the meme basically is like right here is where the meme usually pops up, where they circle Tillman, Judkins, Jeudy, and Njoku saying that they're quote unquote open for Dylan to throw the ball. If you want to be technical on here, I would say he had two receivers open on this play, and that's Tillman and Judkins. Maybe he could have hit Njoku, maybe not. Judy, I think, was automatically out of the question this whole time. Maybe Judy was the actual, intended receiver on the play. Who knows? I don't know play calling. I don't know what was called. Really can't describe, what happened there. But to say that Dillon had four receivers open and he missed it, the only thing he missed was Tillman and Judkins, and that's because he never looked to the right. So yes, that is a problem. But to sit here and say that he missed four receivers when his left tackle is getting destroyed and number 21 is about to annihilate him, only being stopped by his own teammate pushing the left tackle into him, I mean, it's just a little ridiculous that we're listening to people, say, oh yeah, it's all Dillon's fault. He didn't see, blah, 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 blah. The only thing he did wrong here was he didn't look to the right. That's the biggest thing. That was the mistake. That's what ruined it. And yeah, I don't even think he couldn't even throw the ball away, because at this point in time, that would probably be intentional grounding, right? Because he's between the hash marks. So he couldn't really throw the ball away right there. He tried to run, but then number 9 got off his block and took him down with some help. So yes, that's just kind of like what I saw in the play here. And I just, it's not entirely on Dillon. Yes, he didn't look to the right, but I mean, with his left tackle being destroyed like that, Bitonio even, he was getting pushed into him too, but by the time his guy got off of him, he was already wrapped up. Dillon was already wrapped up and going down. So I think Bitonio held it just long enough, but the left tackle clearly, was the next culprit in this play not succeeding. And then, let's say, as we know, Dillon didn't look to the right, but Judy and Njoku didn't help him out either. But the biggest problem on this play, in my opinion, was the left tackle. He's the biggest reason why Dillon couldn't get the ball off to the left, other than the receivers not being open. And if he just would have maybe saw that sooner, if Dillon was on that sooner and looked to the right, maybe he gets the ball off. Maybe not. Maybe it was too late because of the way the left tackle was being abused. So that's just my take on it. Take it with whatever you will. But I just wanted to show some people that, this is actually what happened.